First on the top 10 do's for student service teams is to build your SST based on the skills that are needed for successfully staffing student cases rather than specific staff positions. The primary role of the SST is to empower teachers, parents, and students with the ability to address academic, medical, behavioral, emotional, and/or other problems that interfere with a student's ability to obtain an appropriate education. The makeup of the student service team may have a few consistent members, but membership could be different for each student. And rather than thinking about specific people or staff positions for the student service team and its members, it's better to think about specific roles or areas of expertise. So as we build our student service team, the first thing we're going to need is a chairperson. Chairperson is the one that can keep to the agenda, keep everybody on track, make sure that we don't miss anything. And that person would be a consistent member on the student service team. In addition, you're going to want somebody to keep minutes, somebody to take notes so that you know exactly what was talked about during this meeting, so that when you need to refer back to them, you'll have all the information that you need. And another consistent member that you want is someone or other people who have knowledge, specific knowledge of the student that you're meeting about. And that can certainly include the student's parent or parents, and of course the student's teacher or teachers. All those folks would be considered essential members of your student service team. Of course, you can meet on a student without the parent present, just to be talking with the teachers and helping develop additional strategies. But whenever possible, that parent should be present in all of those meetings. In addition to these consistent members, you might consider having someone who is very knowledgeable about the curriculum. This person would know what the goals and standards are at each grade level for the course of study, and that would be very important in determining where the student's needs are. And then in addition to that person who understands curriculum, you want somebody who is well-versed in academic interventions, those strategies that can be implemented in the classroom to help that student. If behavior is a concern, then you're going to want someone who's knowledgeable in behavioral interventions and strategies. You're also, while not an essential member, you might want someone to be your timekeeper, someone who's able to keep you on track so that your meeting doesn't go on and on and on. Of course, that timekeeper can be one of the other members that are present, or it can be a separate person that is a consistent member of the SST. In addition to curriculum information, you want someone who's able to interpret test scores. Make sure that everyone around the table understands those end of grade test scores or any diagnostic information that's available, that's been given in the classroom, to help determine where the student is functioning. Another person that you might consider having on your SST is someone who's knowledgeable about resources, whatever is available out in the local community to help students, someone for parents, to gather those resources for parents. Other possible members would include folks who know something about organizational strategies, if that is a concern for the student being talked about. If the student has medical concerns or is taking medication on a regular basis, you might consider having the school nurse be a part of that student service team. The point to be made is that there's only a certain number of people that would be considered standing members of your SST. In other words, you can have however many people you need to help the student based on the concerns that are presented. Of course, the more people that we have to be considerate of the parent, because the more people we have, it can become more intimidating, and we don't want our student service team meetings to be intimidating. We want it to be a place where parents can feel comfortable, parents and teachers can feel comfortable talking about the needs of a particular student. But the SST is a vital part of what goes on in the school, and it can certainly be a resource for teachers and for parents.